Hey there, nature viewers. I just want to say, before this episode starts, yes, I am aware that it's been 1 week since Valentine's Day, and yes, I am also aware that I didn't post, which is why exactly I'm making this episode today. But mainly, the real reason is, if you are still somebody who has not found their loved one, or has not found a loved one of any sort, whether, it's somebody that you actually like, or you don't like, but, still want to be in a relationship, and that's okay. Just so you know, even if you think you're ugly, you're not. You're not. Because you are you. And nobody else can be exactly like you. And of course, everybody else wants to be with you. And obviously, other people want to be with you as well. So, in case if you're thinking that you're not somebody that belongs with somebody, you do. You just haven't found it yet because there's just so many people to choose from that you're just looking for the right one. I mean, well, okay, maybe if you are kind of like me, then you kind of do have a point. Yeah, okay, I am aware that I was single on Valentine's Day, so, yeah, it makes sense. But it's okay, because, as a man, when you're single, you don't really care as much. I mean, sure, you do wish that, you were with a beloved someone of sort that you imagined. But it's okay, because, when you're also single, you handle it like a true man. I feel like this is what these National Geographic episodes need more of. Life lessons. So that way, in case the stuff that we're already showing on here isn't enough for them to learn, then hopefully this is a little bit of enough. Because, it's small and simple. Short and simple. People like that stuff. Don't take that information the wrong. I mean, there's not much I'm trying to ask for out of these intros. Just add a little bit of pizzazz to them. Something that could actually attract the viewers other than maybe some life lessons. Maybe something like this. In today's episode of National Geographic, we talk about the mating process throughout all animals, showing what it's like to make a life and watch it grow on generation after generation. It keeps evolving and continues to develop. Well, welcome nature viewers back to another episode of National Geographic. Now, you see, I have wondered, so earlier I mentioned that I was single, which, I've already accepted my fact about that, but I just want to know, how do animals seem to be more... Well, welcome nature viewers. Now, here's something that I have thought of to myself, and I am going to explain the topic we're talking about today, but, so earlier I already mentioned that I'm single, which I've already, stated that as a fact, but I just want to know, how do animals seem to be more attractive than me? For example, I'm just gonna say, a bald eagle. Seriously, how can they actually mate for the longest amount of time? I mean, you're telling me the same animal that's trying to, chop my head off is attractive and pulling more girls than me? I mean, shoot, I can't even do about it because, it's literally a freaking bald eagle. What am I gonna do? Try to square it off? Heck, no, I'm not. It's literally gonna come down, bite every single one of my limbs off, and then chop my head off last. And then eat it. While also serving it to its baby. Okay, but seriously, today we are going to be talking about mating and how the process works. What type of animals mate the longest, and what do they get out of that? Which, if you're under the age of 13, then, you probably haven't been taught about, XES. Spell that backwards. You're going to get a really weird word out of that. So we're just gonna look at as many animals as we can. Not all of them, because, I hope this video doesn't get age restricted. But, just a couple, so that way you can get a mind of, how this works, and what it's like for animals to mate. And, I mean, how dangerous the process actually is. Actually, now I realize why I skipped this out for a week. First on the list is leopards, and they actually have many advantages towards that. I mean, you can actually think of leopards as cheetahs because they're very fast. What I mean by that is that leopards can actually mate 100 other leopards in the span of just a day. Yes, a day for 100 leopards to be mated by a singular leopard. Which is kind of crazy to think about that. But, if lucky, I mean at max, then the same leopard that is mated with the leopard, I don't know if that makes any sense, will actually be able to stay for at least 4 days. But still, that's not really much of a good time average. Now, if you thought that kind of sounded weird, well, black rhinos kind of are exactly almost the same thing, as they also have exclusive advantages for mating rights towards the females, although they also have a breed year-round, with peak breeding periods that vary among a lot of populations. They are solitary creatures nonetheless, coming together only during mating or when a mother is at least raising her calf. Although, the funny thing about this is that males are called bulls and females are called cows, so, don't try to get that too mixed up. That should already tell you enough about black rhinoceros in general, since they obviously have complex behaviors towards their mating habits. Now, next on the line are seahorses, which obviously kind of have some interesting background details about their matings, because often a lot of people say that they do mate for life, but most of the time they are only mating for at least one season, so it's kind of hard to think about that. But the part that really kicks in is that they actually have a special mating dance, where both males and females flutter their fins. And I mean, from what you can already tell in this photo, you can already see that the female seahorse deposits up to 1,500 eggs in the male's pouch, which are then released into the water, despite them also being young and this tiny, because oh my god, that is a lot. Now, giraffes, on the other hand, are kind of a little bit more confusing to understand because there's really no specific breeding season for giraffes, and they basically just mate without giving any clues to when they're most likely going to do it. So, you know, I mean, it just could happen randomly, and like you would never know, and you would probably think that's kind of a soul. But since giraffes are polygamous animals, or polygamous, I think, all the dominant males mate with all the fertile females. So, you know, it's kind of a little bit of a weird difference, but, you know, overall, it's kind of a little bit cool. Now, a lot of these animals, as we go on, seem to be having more crazier background detail about their mating process, but the craziest thing I could find about the bonobo monkey is that male bonobos can mate with infants even when they are too young to reproduce. So, mothers can actually help their sons in mating with more females, which is, you know, cool, but then also a little bit weird when you think about it a little bit more at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part about this is that a lot of these monkeys have some very unique social habitats, which make them highly fascinating towards a lot of zoologists. Lastly, of what we're going to talk about before we end this episode off is the white-fronted parrots, also known as the spectacled parrots, which actually engage in kissing during mating. So, that's a little bit more related to humans. These birds right here are the smallest of all of the Amazon parrots, with a bright white patch on their forehead. But the good thing about this is that their mating season actually starts in February and lasts until probably about June or July, which is like probably 5 months. But hey, I mean, if it's in the month of love, then it's gotta bring you good hope, right? Nah, actually that's not really true at all. I mean, if anything, it's probably much more worse than that. It probably, like, breaks mating and prevents mating from happening, but, oh well, I mean, whatever works out. I mean, it seems like, you know, from this picture, they seem to be having an okay time. But with that said, that is about it for today's episode of Brady's National Geographic. Yup, it's a pretty short one today, so, you know, that should, entertain you guys for at least this day, or probably tomorrow, because by the time this episode comes out, it's probably going to be Sunday. Most likely, that's what I'm considering. But anyways, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this. You know, it was kind of a little bit more extra mature, so to anybody who was 12 and under watching this, come on, you should have known better than to watch something that's like age restricted. I mean, why are you even on your mom's phone? But yeah, and I also hope that you had a good Valentine's Day last week, because this was kind of supposed to be a Valentine's Day related episode, but I just was never to get it out until now, but now I kind of understand why. But anyways, yeah, make sure to subscribe to National Geographic Official, this channel, so we can make it grow more. I really appreciate the progress that we've been able to make, and I hope we just keep it going, you know. Only at 150, soon, before you know it, we'll be at like 600,000. Hopefully. That's what I hope for. And follow our TikTok, because I don't know why, but we haven't really been getting that much followers, even though we post the same exact content from our TikTok onto our YouTube, but somehow it gets more on our YouTube, so I don't really know. I mean, I'm not really gonna deal with that for right now. And, yeah, that's all I have left to say. I suck at endings, and this is me, Brady, signing off. I hope to see you guys next time on National Geographic. Hopefully I have something a little bit better and something more entertaining for you guys, but we'll just have to see. Bye!